Okay, Hungary is coming out now with a real nice residency by investment program. They actually had one back around 2017, right in there, and they did away with it. They had some problems with some illicit people that got in it, and they just shut it down. It was one of the few residency by investment programs in Europe that did not have a language requirement to get the passport, which is real unique, and it's too bad they closed it down at that point. But they're coming back out now with it in 2024. And I'm going to go over some things with you. It is a really good residency by investment program. A lot of these I see have a lot of gotchas, but this one has very little. It's really is a good program. I actually like it better than the Bulgaria program that they used to have, and then that shut down. Let me go over some of the strengths that this will have. Of course, Hungary has got one of the lowest corporate tax rates in the OECD at 9%. And the personal income tax is at a flat rate of 15%. Now, Hungary operates a territorial tax system that fully exempts dividends and capital gains and does not have withholding taxes and has better than average CFC rules. Now, there are some weaknesses, and the companies are severely limited in the amount of net operating losses that they can use to offset future profits. And companies cannot use losses to reduce past taxable income. Now, Hungary also levies the highest VAT rate among OECD countries at 27% on a relatively broad basis. Now, the VAT is pretty high there, but that's based on consumption, not on your income. Now, Hungary levies taxes on estates, real estate transfers, financial transactions, and bank assets. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about the net wealth taxes. There is no net wealth as far as worth taxes in Hungary that you're seeing a lot of these countries come out on a worldwide basis on income. But there is an estate inheritance tax on gift taxes. The general inheritance and gift tax rate is 18%, and it's got a preferential 9% tax rate that applies to residential property. The transfer of property without consideration between lineal relatives, including the spouse of the deceased, is tax exempt. There is a preferential tax treatment for residential property in the case of an estate transfer on tax as well. Now, the estate transfer tax is 4% or 2% depending on the value of the real estate. Now, the the share of the revenue that actually goes towards of the total revenue that's coming in on consumption taxes is 45.3%. So in other words, Hungary gets a lot of its money, from the VAT, which again is 27%, but it makes up 45.3% of all the taxes that is generated there. Now, Hungary had the highest VAT rate of any of the OECD countries, as I mentioned to you. So, they're able to come out with a lower taxation system than a lot of these other countries because, they're going to get it from somewhere. Now, a comparison of prices in these countries that Hungary ranks ninth cheapest out of 36 countries in the price index for food and non-alcoholic beverages at 90% of the EU average. Now, tell you a little bit about this. Hungary's, their food prices, even with the 27% VAT, is still very, very inexpensive. And one reason is the labor there is so cheap. But the lowest prices were found actually in Turkey, where prices were just 64% of the EU level in 2022. And then Switzerland was the most expensive in the ranking, with residents in the Alpine country able to buy food and non-alcoholic drinks at about 163% of the EU average. Now, Romania and Poland are cheaper than Hungary in the region, but the Czech Republic, Croatia, Slovenia, and Slovakia are more expensive. Now, the latter of these three that I just mentioned to you, the EU average as of Germany and Austria, but Germany and Austria are cheaper than Switzerland. Now, one thing you're going to have to look at when you're going in, you can't just look at taxes, income taxes, because there's a lot of countries that will have a low income tax or low corporate tax, but they kill you in Social Security taxes. This is one of them. Okay, so you have to. A lot of people just don't check stuff like this when they go over these countries, but the employer's contribution rate on the so-called social tax is 13%. This was for 2023. Now, the employees' Social Security contribution rate is 18.5%. And then 15% of the unused amount of the child tax base allowance can be deducted from the total amount of the 18.5% Social Security contribution obligation. Now, Hungarian citizens have visa-free or visa-free on arrival access to 186 countries and territories. And this makes this passport the 6th best in the world. Now, Hungary is banking on its attractiveness to businesses due to having one of Europe's lowest corporate tax rates, as I mentioned to you before, at 9%. And it plans to focus on attracting investors from Asia that are interested in utilizing its relatively low rates for an advanced economy. Also, folks, if you want to legally get around high income taxes or how to get a second passport as quick as 4 to 8 months, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here, and you get new videos automatically as they come out. And number 2 is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. Now, another advantage working from Hungary is its affordable real estate, which means that investors will be able to get higher value of money when invested in Hungary than other places, more expensive, like Greece and Spain. And the reason is obviously because of their labor cost, and that can make a real big difference there. Now, how can Hungary's golden visa evade EU scrutiny? Now, this is the big key right here. They're having very few restrictions on this, and the EU doesn't like that. And I'm wondering if they're going to be able to last because of that. They didn't like Portugal's, just a few days a year that a requirement to keep residency, but Hungary doesn't have any requirement. This is the thing. I think they're going to get the EU on their backs pretty soon. But it's no secret the EU authorities are skeptical of the golden visa programs within the Union and elsewhere, like the Caribbean. And over the past 2 years, the bloc has taken several legal moves to regulate golden visa programs and eliminate golden passport programs on the continent. Now, to that end, the European Commission has taken Malta to court over its program and regularly issues statements about different golden visa programs it views as potentially problematic. Now, the draft bill doesn't only open up routes for investment migration, but also aims to open up routes for skilled migrants to join the EU. So they will have, if you're not self-employed, but you want to go over there and work, they're also going to have for skilled care or for skill type working type arrangement, people that have that type of expertise. This is something you might want to look at. We deal mostly with self-employed people, but they are opening it up for that also. Now, the newly announced Hungary Golden Visa program is set to offer foreign investors a simple and a proven path to obtain Hungarian residency by investment. All right, now let me tell you how the program is going to work. The program is not active yet. The draft legislation was submitted in support of the new program's creation, and it's coming out. And the options are these 3 as follows. You can go into real estate investment with 250,000 euros, or you can invest in real estate acquisition, which is 500,000 euros, or you can go into what's called a non-refundable public trust donation for 1 million euros. In other words, you're basically giving your money away at the 1 million. Now, obviously, unless you're very charitable, no one's going to go with that third option. Most people are probably going to go with the 250,000 real estate investment fund. They might go in property, but the real estate investment funds is about half the amount that you have to invest. Now, the program is set to offer applicants a residency permit with a validity of 10 years, which is pretty unusual for EU Golden Visa programs. Now, the program won't require any minimum annual stay in the country, and this is real unique in this program here. Now, as of February 2024, the program looks set for the cheapest property-based golden visa option in the EU. And in addition, the program looks to offer a fast processing time that will be a lot quicker than the Portuguese golden visa. Now, some of the benefits of this program is it's going to be very, very fast, that you can be able to get this program once you apply for it. The complete and the entire application process and receive for your family ID cards. So you can do all this in about 6 to 8 weeks. You'll receive a residency approval of your family and ID cards before committing any capital, which is real nice. And one of the unique things about this that I haven't seen any of the other ones do is that they're letting all nationalities, they're going to be eligible for this now. The program is open to all nationalities, including Russians, Belarusians, and Iranians. And this is one of the few places in the world that's doing this. I'm just wondering how they're able to do it with all this stuff going on with Russia and Ukraine now. But they're planning on coming out with it unless the EU comes in and stops them from doing it. But unlike with the Portugal golden visa, Hungary requires, again, 0 stay days a year that you're going to have to qualify for the residency and keep it going. Now, they have not mentioned if they're going to continue what they did before, and that is where there is no language requirement. I assume that they're going to do that. This is what they did before, and this is one thing that made this program stand out more than the other ones, because they didn't have that requirement. If they have this with the low taxes that they've got, man, this could be a dynamite program. But I'll know more about this because the country still hasn't come out with all their regs yet. But once they do, I can let you know that we'll be doing this program also. So if you want to know more on this, again, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment or something like this, just put it below. And again, if you want new videos automatically as they come out, just hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here, and you get new videos automatically. And I'll look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.